You are listening to the Masculine Mindset Show, a podcast for introverts to get more confidence, more importantly, more self-worth, and of course, get more fit. Women are a side benefit. More importantly, I turn nice guys into bad motherfuckers. Let's get into the content. You fucking legend. Sponsored by Brain FM. Real binaural beats that has sleep tracks, meditation tracks, recharge tracks, relaxation tracks, focus tracks, which, by the way, those focus tracks are really fucking good. Man, do I focus when I am writing my blogs, you guys. Okay, let's get into the content. I fucking love it. If you'd sign up right now. Masculine Mindset Show. It's Adam Skoda. Now, today, you guys, we're talking about effortless sexual discipline with Eduardo Sanchez. And I'm going to just have him introduce himself to my listeners because, quite frankly, he told me that he has a sex joke to tell my listeners. So let's go. I want to hear it.
Hey guys, Eduardo Sanchez here. First of all, before I introduce myself, give a round of applause to Skoda for bringing me on the podcast. He's a natural pussy slayer. He gets all the girls. His methods you didn't know this, but his methods have been banned east of the Volga River. It was just like Kim Jong-un. Like he reached out to him. Yeah, he's in trouble. So because Kim Jong-un, you didn't know this either, but he's really good with even better than Adam or better than anyone. He's like the best, seducer, best like pussy slayer. So I'm Eduardo Sanchez. I have been in the self-improvement, self-development in a little over 4 years. And, it's just a really short time. Learned a lot. Feels like a calling of sorts. So that was the sex joke, by the way.
Nice, man. That was awesome. Okay, now what's the sex story? Because we want to hear the sex story too. You told me about the sex joke. Now the sex story. Let's hear the sex story.
So I think it was like early this year. After I met this like really cute woman at a bar. Got her number, got her to talk to me, all the stuff. And then funny enough, she for the minute before we left each other at the bar, she asked me you want me to sing you a nude or we just said it off, we left. So later that night we were both in our own bedroom. She left about an hour away. I think she texted me first. So I didn't I saw the text. A minute after she's like hello or whatever or something like that. Wow, you're not even responding. And then I just let it sit there for a minute and then responded back. And then and that's when she sent the nude. It was all right.
I want to briefly interject real quick. Is that cool? Can I briefly interject? Okay. If we want to talk about nudes for a second, I want to give my listeners a little tip, because I've had, look, the most effective way in my mind to do this is I had a Venus talk with basically this chick that I was seeing sexually. And Venus talks, you guys, very simple. You can get my book, Closer's Guide to Seduction, to learn all about that. Venus talks is you talk to this girl that you're talking to on the phone. Doesn't matter who it is. Okay, if my listeners have a pipeline, that's cool. Just if you talk to them on the phone and you just let her talk, just listen. Don't even try to solve her problems. And I just that right there, when I did that, Eduardo, here's what happened. Not even like about a half hour later, I got a lingerie pic from her, like less clothes. She was covering up her chest. Either way, it was very revealing, very suggestive. And after that message, she typed, "This is what you do when your man listens to you and doesn't try to solve your problems." So Venus talks do work, right? I mean, they have their place. Listen, brothers, but don't try to solve their problems. So, little tip there, you guys, on getting nudes. Okay, so I'm going to briefly talk about my sex story before we talk about sexual discipline. All right, so I walked into her apartment. I saw that glow, Eduardo, right? That fucking glow. She looked extremely happy to see me, and I said, "How you doing, babe?" And she kept basically saying to me, "You have to stop doing that, Adam." And I'm like, "What?" And then she said, looking at me like that. And I walked up to her. She backed up into the wall. And then she started panting very hard. Looked at her lips, right? Looked down at her lips like the upside down triangle. And then I looked back to her eyes and I said, "Not right now." And then I turned towards the kitchen and she pulled me in and we started making out, and you can obviously guess where it went from there. That's my sex story. Now, I don't want to get too explicit today because I have a lot of explicit podcasts. For example, Tease Women, I Want to Kiss You. That one was pretty freaking crazy, to say the least. So let's talk about sexual discipline in terms of basically what players lack. I think players lack this. And why do players lack sexual discipline? Well, I'm going to have Eduardo answer that question.
So, there's lack of sexual discipline, mainly because, as men, like, this, we're trying to get it, and we want to see, like, what her body looks like. That's always going on in minds of men. Um, I know, like, every time I, like, go out and stuff, like, after an interaction, it's like, in cold approach, it's like after that, like, I'm always like fantasizing about this woman, uh, trying to see like what she would look like, and yeah, it's very natural. I mean, it's like kind of like, especially if you two have like chemistry, hit it off real well in the conversation.
Yeah, so I have a whole section in my recently released book, 77 Ways to Develop a Masculine Mindset. I talk about sexual discipline. Now, I will mention I don't have a task for that one per se, even though I have one on my last week's podcast where I talk about embracing stoicism. where I talked about mental toughness with my man James. So, what I'll say to all of you, you guys know there isn't a task for that one. It's very clear in my second book, 77, or excuse me, I want to correct myself. My second book, Closer's Guide to Seduction, I talk about develop the discipline to say no to sex in that book. That's why I don't have a task on that section in my book. 77 ways to develop a masculine mindset. So, I'm actually going to give my listeners some tactical ways to implement sexual discipline. Really quick, I want to kind of define what sexual discipline is. Sexual discipline is essentially you just, I mean, as Eduardo was saying, we want to get it in, all right? But as as guys, we have that drive, right? But here's where I think that all of us have got to work on not being fucking pigs. Because even though I have these really naughty podcasts, like they're pretty fucking naughty, I want all of my listeners to remember that I say on like one of my other recently released podcasts, I think it was about 2 or maybe 3 weeks back, called 10 Ways to Trigger Involuntary Polarity. I say never turn a no into a yes. What does that mean? Well, it's simple, really. If a woman says no, no means no. You don't go there. That's You're treading on bad territory there. If you try to do anything, you're fucking screwed. And I think that a lot of women listening to my show right now, they're nodding their heads right now because safety matters to them, doesn't it? You can say anything if you want.
Yeah, yeah, safety really matters. They want to know that the man she's with, the man she's hanging out with, has like a strong brain. Um, and so about like security.
Yeah,
Um, she wants to know like that you won't like do anything or like with her too fast. Um, but yeah, she also wants to know if she's
yeah,
safe with her guy.
yeah. So, guys, a very easy way to show that you're safe is to just bring girls with you. It sounds so simple, but yet some of you guys listening are thinking, "Oh, Adam, I don't have girlfriends like you or anything like that." But it's just like, guys, here's what you do. You just go to seekingarrangement.com and there you go. Bro, did you know that Hannah Spanky, who actually came on my show, she basically, I heard her podcast called Fuck Yourself Happy. She has used Seeking Arrangement herself.
No,
Yeah.
that's
But either way, you guys, that's something that I want all of you guys to really consider is seekingarrangement.com. Just go on that website and you'll know. I think it's called a different title now. Don't quote me on that. I think that they changed the name of that website. But yeah, just know that you can actually hire girls from Seeking Arrangement, and that website will help in terms of pre-selection. And if you listen to my other podcasts, right, you can implement escalate and release on them if you want. But either way, I just want all of you to consider taking girls out with you. That is the easiest way to show that you're safe. Because when you're in a group of girls, you're seen with a group of girls, that immediately signals a cognitive shortcut in the female mind that is pre-selection. And as Eduardo knows, because we both know each other through Mark, Mark knows about my podcast, so it's all good. Um, Basically, we both know that pre-selection is powerful and it works from experience, don't we, Eduardo?
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I've kind of referring back to like speaking that website real quick before we move on. I have been on like that website. I think it's called seeking.com now. So I've seen couple women there. Um, have messaged a few of them, tried to get them out, come with me, but I think there was like enough attraction built like in that in those texts. Um, so yeah, I have some experience with it, but I haven't actually gone to the point where I actually went out to these women because I still had like to build enough attraction. I think some of them just like gusted me or whatever. So, but I think like in the future I'll just you know probably do other methods. Might even try seeking again, but
Yeah. And you guys, I have about 10 minutes left of my time here, but I really want to say this really quick to all of you. That is, in my opinion, sexual discipline is highly underrated. Now, I want to circle back to what I said about Hannah Spanky. I just want to mention you guys that she does not use that website anymore. She did a long time ago, okay? But either way, that's to show you guys that women do use it. So, again, I have a lot of respect for her for not using it anymore. That's, again, takes discipline, right? To not, in my mind, when you go to websites like that, I've never actually done that. I'm going to be real with you. I've never actually used seeking arrangements. But if someone wants to use it, there's the option to just basically go to that website and hire girls and spend time with them throughout the day. And you can see that when you go out to nightclubs with girls, which, by the way, you guys, you can set boundaries. In my book, I talk about setting boundaries, right? Just be like, look, let's not do anything sexual. That right there is sexual discipline, right? So you say, look, let's not do anything sexual. All we're going to do is just hang out, and I would like you to just basically show that you're into me. Set those masculine boundaries, because as this is called the Masculine Mindset Show for a reason. Set those masculine boundaries. Tell the girls that you hire off of seeking to not like try anything, right? Again, sexual discipline. Okay, so I'm going to briefly dissect one of my lines from Tease Women to Want to Kiss You. Have you heard that episode, Eduardo?
oh, not yet. I haven't heard that episode yet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's really think about this entire line right here. I said this like the very fucking first, I think, 3 minutes after the intro, obviously. I know that you want to kiss me right now, but we're not going to go there. Okay, no, not yet. I just want to look in your eyes right now and challenge you to a staring contest. How much value is communicated there, Eduardo, if you really think about it? Because
A lot of value.
yeah, there's so much value being communicated there because you're actually saying, look, I don't want to go there with you. No, not yet. I just want to look in your eyes right now. If you think about it, you're increasing body temperature so much by just saying that. So much. Because you're basically, guys, how often do men say no to kissing a girl, right? They say yes all the time, right? Or you can implement a sexualized tease. Sexualized tease. Look, I think the only comforting thought that I have left about you is the fact that I assume you're a very mediocre kisser. I think that's the reason why I'm able to resist. You get me? Right?
Yeah.
That's a tease, you guys. Again, some of you guys message me, you're like, Adam, your voice is overcompensating. It's too much, but it's like, you guys, really dissect these lines down. How many guys throw in sexual teases to girls? How many guys say, I'm not gonna kiss you? How many guys say, I'm clearly way too much for you? How many guys say that?
Guys.
Do you see my point? Like, this right here is sexual discipline in action. You get me?
Yeah.
So, if any of you want to look, there's one other line that I said in that episode where I go pretty fucking far. But again, takes a lot of courage. Just work your way up to that. But either way, what I want to say to all of you about that episode is I kind of just lost my, like, I got into flow state so fast that I just kind of forgot what came out of my mouth. But either way, I do remember the staring contest one, and I remember that sexualized tease. Either way, I just want all of you guys to really dissect all those lines in that episode, because you can hear effortless sexual discipline, as this podcast is called, right? So if you have anything else you want to say on sexual discipline, dude, let me know, because I think that was a good way to actually practice sexual discipline in action in the real world.
Yeah, so the sexual discipline, it's like trying to not let that like horniness come out of you as much. And yeah, while being horny is healthy, it's uh not when it's like over the top and gets out of control. Um, and sometimes that like um, if you don't have sexual discipline, I call it like sexual chaos. It's like a form of um, but it's like almost like controlling of you. You're not controlling it in a way that kind of like if it gets like really out of control, it can be detrimental, and you're not gonna be like um, 'cause I've been there, but you're not gonna be like a functioning member of society if you uh, use your sexual like chaos, as I call it, too much. So
I like
it's
that
sexual
term,
discipline. That's
sexual chaos. Never heard that before. Yeah. You know, that's an interesting way to look at it. Sexual chaos. Anyway, you guys, I have about 2 minutes left of my time, so I just want to wrap up this podcast. But yeah, dude, I actually learned something new today. Sexual chaos. Interesting term, dude. So, you guys, don't be sexually chaotic, right? As Eduardo said, right? But be sexually safe, if you will. You get me? And show that pre-selection. Go to seeking.com if you have to, and set those masculine boundaries, right? And say, no, let's not go there. And what would that do in result? Really think about that. When you set those masculine boundaries, what would that do in result? Hiring that chick from Seeking. That would get her wanting to basically kiss you, or maybe do something sexual with you, because you're saying no to sexual advances. So I just want everyone to really think about that for a second, okay? Even though that episode that I released is one of my highest rated, if not, it's right under 10x your masculinity. Just remember that if you dissect every line down, there's a lot of sexual discipline in that podcast. So, with that said, Eduardo, it was awesome having you on. Look forward to having you on in the future, but I am stepping down from podcasting. So it'll be temporary, you guys. Not very long. You guys have an awesome day. What's up, guys? I appreciate you for listening to this episode. Now, to be clear with all of you, that was an entertaining interview, to say the least. And honestly, all I have to say is this guy, Eduardo, made me laugh. And that's the first, right? So, what's the point behind this outro? What's the point, Adam? I want you to go follow him, okay? Because he's a legend, all right? I'll put his link in the show notes to his Instagram page. And lastly, you guys, get my book, 77 Ways to Develop a Masculine Mindset, in the show notes. All right. Peace out, you guys. Leave me a 5-star review. I love you.